So this is another percent question, and this is 6G in our test review. And so the question's asking, Mrs. Gomez purchased a television set for a total of $523.80, which included tax, 8% sales tax. What was the cost of the set before the tax? So again, what we're first going to do is determine exactly what we're working with here. We know we need to use rate is equal to part over base, but what exactly are we talking about? So what is that $523? Okay, so in terms of a question like this, you need to think about how you do shopping, okay? Most of us, when we're going to a store, we're buying a TV or buying shoes, whatever, video game, we look at the price and we think if something is $9.99, we think, okay, we're spending $9.99 plus tax. So that $9.99 to us, okay, actually is considered to us the base price, okay, the 100% total. The tax is just extra. So what the question is asking us is, what was the cost of the set before the tax? So in this question, we are trying to actually establish what the base price was before the tax was actually given. So we're not entirely sure what that is. So the part for us must be that $523.80 because that includes the tax of 8%. Now, you might think that the rate is 8%, but this is not correct because remember that base price indicates to us what we're trying to find, which is that what was the original prior to tax. So that is related to the rate, okay? Now, for us, when we're buying, like I said, when we're buying shoes or buying a video game for $9.99, just as an example here, to us, this is the base price. This is the starting price, and that we will pay plus tax, and that will be our part. Okay? So, we know that she's paid $523.80, and that includes that 8%. So we need to figure out what was the base prior to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 100% to that so we actually know what the total price is. Okay? So in terms of this question, again, it's a good idea to keep in mind your real life situations. How do we interpret tax, things like that, because it can get a little bit confusing. So remember that with your percents and rate, you do not use percent. You need to convert it into its decimal or fraction form. So if we divide this by 100, we get 1.08. So if we plug this into our question, we have 1.08 is equal to $523.80 over our base, which we're not entirely sure. So we're going to do a cross multiplication here, and so we're basically switching the base with the rate. So our base is equal to $523.80 over 1.08. And when we do this calculation, we should get an answer of $485. Okay, so as I said in class, it is important that if you're confused, because these questions can get a little confusing, is does our answer make sense? Okay, if you have $485, that is the price of the TV without tax. Mrs. Gomez paid $523.80. Does that seem reasonable? Okay, again, go with numbers that you know to be right. So for instance, let's say if she spent 10% of sales tax. If the base price was $485, 10% of that would be $48.50. If we were to add our $485 plus $48.50, we get a total of $533.50. So, because the tax is only 8%, it wasn't 10, we are very close to that number because the question told us she spent $523.80. Okay? So, I hope this clears things up. If it doesn't, please let me know so we can get you confident for that test.